Hi, this is Ruby John from Pakistan, and I work as a director for Member Care Foundation. And today, I would like all of us to focus how we can dare to trust God amidst storm. And I would like to put a question before all of you to ponder. How can we dare to trust Jesus amidst storms of life and move on with resilience by faith when encountering challenging times? I believe that many of you must have experienced a season of betrayal and hurt in your life, and your trust was completely shattered. It created a barrier in a relationship and left you burdened and broken. If trusting a human being is so challenging and difficult, do you think trusting an invisible God would be easy? Particularly when we tread through the dark valleys and swim through the deep waters? Not at all. And today, I would like all of us to ponder upon a very interesting and thrilling narrative from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 8, verses 23 to 27, where Jesus invites his disciples to journey to the other side of the lake as he desires to retreat after long and tiring ministry. The invitation comes from Jesus to sail to the other side to rest. The narrative describes how faith and trust go hand in hand. Disciples have faith in Jesus that he is a healer as they witness many miracles before they get into the boat. However, as they go on a voyage and hit by a storm, the faith is replaced by fear. Why they were afraid, what they were afraid of. They had witnessed all the miracles of Jesus had done. So why they were afraid? Why they did not trust Jesus? Jesus' invitation to sit in a boat provided them the opportunity to exercise their faith by trusting in the person of Jesus. But they yelled at Jesus, "Lord, save us, we are perishing." Dear friends, life of a disciple is one of the faith and trust in God from the beginning to the end. We are called upon to believe in the Lord Jesus, who is the way, the truth, and the life. And as the writer to the Hebrew reminds us, without faith, it is impossible to please God. For whoever would draw near to God must believe that He exists and He rewards those who seek Him. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6. As we ponder on faith and trust, I look for the difference between these two concepts. Often people use these words interchangeably, but there's a fine difference that exists between both words. In the scriptures, faith is defined as the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. Faith is our belief system. You explicitly cannot prove it. Faith has a spiritual context, yet trust is a very important concept in the context of relationships. Trusting God is an aspect of saving faith, but with trust, faith is inadequate. Trust is surrendering all to God when we cannot fully comprehend. To trust means to grow in our relationship with God, to stand on the promises of God, and to remember God's actions of faithfulness, and finally, to manifest our trust in God through our lives. Trust is an intentional choice to fully rely on the person of Jesus and activate our faith. But the question arises, how do I dare to trust God in times of troubles, during storms, when I battle with uncertainty, economic recession, while raising a rebellious child, and even living with an unfaithful spouse? The Hebrew word for trust means boldly confident, secure, and sure. When we meditate on God's greatness and His majesty, God builds our inner confidence based on His character for who He is. what He promises and how He acts. God grants us assurance and He instills deep security in our spirit that only He is in control despite uncontrollable surroundings. We don't have to surrender to problems, uncertainty, and turmoil.